Semaglutide. Semaglutide reduces appetite by strengthening the body's natural satiety signaling system. It belongs to a class of compounds known as GLP-1 receptor agonists, which mimic a gut hormone released after meals. In a healthy system, this hormone signals fullness to the brain, slows stomach emptying, and regulates insulin release. Semaglutide amplifies that existing signal rather than creating a new one. By slowing gastric emptying and stabilizing blood sugar, it reduces the frequency and intensity of hunger cues throughout the day. Many people describe this as a reduction in food noise, where intrusive thoughts about eating become less persistent. Clinical trials show significant weight loss when used consistently. However, it does not permanently reset appetite biology. When discontinued, hunger signaling often returns, and side effects such as nausea and slowed digestion are common during dose escalation. BPC-157. BPC-157 accelerates tissue repair by enhancing blood flow and modulating inflammation at injury sites. It stands for Body Protection Compound 157 and is derived from a protein found in the stomach lining. While originally studied for gastrointestinal protection, its mechanisms extend to connective tissue throughout the body. BPC-157 appears to promote angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels, improving nutrient delivery to damaged areas. It also regulates inflammatory signaling, preventing excessive inflammation from interfering with repair. Animal research suggests improvements in tendon healing, ligament repair, wound closure, and ulcer protection. Human clinical data remains limited. Functionally, BPC-157 supports the body's natural recovery systems. It does not eliminate the need for rest or rehabilitation, but may improve the efficiency and coordination of healing processes. Tirzepatide. Tirzepatide suppresses appetite while improving metabolic handling of incoming energy. Like semaglutide, it activates GLP-1 receptors, but it also stimulates GIP receptors, adding a second hormonal pathway involved in insulin response and nutrient processing. By engaging both systems, Tirzepatide reduces hunger while improving insulin sensitivity and post-meal glucose control. Appetite decreases, and calories are handled more efficiently at the cellular level. Clinical data shows greater average weight loss compared to GLP-1-only medications, reflecting both reduced intake and improved metabolic regulation. As with other peptides in this category, results depend on continued use. Gastrointestinal side effects are common early on, and preserving lean mass requires deliberate protein intake and resistance training during rapid weight reduction. GHK-Cu. GHK-Cu improves skin structure and tissue repair by restoring signals associated with youthful healing. This naturally occurring copper peptide coordinates collagen production, blood vessel formation, and anti-inflammatory activity. Levels decline with age, and repair efficiency decreases accordingly. GHK-Cu stimulates fibroblasts to produce collagen and elastin, improving skin thickness and elasticity. It also enhances microcirculation, supporting nutrient delivery and waste removal at the tissue level. Topically, it is used to improve skin quality and recovery following cosmetic procedures. On the scalp, it may support follicle health by improving local blood flow. GHK-Cu does not force growth or override biological limits. Its role is restorative, reinforcing existing repair pathways rather than introducing new biological signals. Glutathione. Glutathione protects cells from oxidative damage and supports detoxification at a foundational level. It is a naturally occurring tripeptide present in nearly every cell, functioning more as cellular infrastructure than as a signaling hormone. It maintains redox balance, protecting DNA, mitochondria, and membranes from oxidative stress. Glutathione binds toxins and metabolic byproducts in the liver, allowing safe elimination. Without adequate levels, oxidative damage accumulates and cellular resilience declines. Levels naturally decrease with age, chronic stress, and sustained inflammation. This decline contributes to fatigue, impaired immunity, and slower recovery. Unlike metabolic or growth peptides, glutathione does not stimulate change. It preserves the internal environment that allows other systems to function efficiently, supporting resilience rather than transformation. TB500. TB500 restores mobility by supporting tissue regeneration and vascular repair. It is a synthetic version of thymosin beta-4, a peptide released during injury to guide cell migration and structural rebuilding. TB500 promotes angiogenesis, improving blood flow in tissues with limited circulation such as tendons and ligaments. This enhances oxygen and nutrient delivery, helping stalled injuries progress toward resolution. Rather than masking pain, TB500 improves structural conditions that allow movement to return gradually. It is frequently paired with BPC-157, which initiates repair and modulates inflammation, while TB500 supports remodeling and functional recovery. Retatrutide. Retatrutide increases fat loss by reducing appetite while simultaneously raising energy expenditure. It activates 3 hormone pathways, GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors. While GLP-1 and GIP decrease hunger and improve insulin sensitivity, glucagon signaling increases fat oxidation and resting metabolic rate. This dual approach affects both sides of energy balance, intake and output. Appetite decreases, but stored fuel also becomes more accessible. Retatrutide appears to improve metabolic flexibility, allowing the body to shift more efficiently between fuel sources. Early studies suggest greater fat loss compared to earlier GLP-1-based therapies, reflecting a broader metabolic effect rather than appetite suppression alone. CJC-1295. CJC-1295 increases the body's own production of growth hormone by extending natural signaling patterns. Rather than supplying growth hormone directly, it stimulates the pituitary gland to release it in a physiologic rhythm. This preserves the body's feedback loops instead of bypassing them. CJC-1295 works by prolonging the activity of growth hormone-releasing hormone, allowing pulses of growth hormone to last longer without creating extreme spikes. Growth hormone influences fat metabolism, connective tissue repair, bone density, and sleep-dependent recovery. As natural production declines with age, these systems lose efficiency. It does not create dramatic or immediate changes. Its effects are gradual and systemic, often reported as improved sleep quality, better recovery capacity, and subtle improvements in body composition over time. Ipamorelin. Ipamorelin enhances growth hormone release while minimizing activation of stress-related hormones. Unlike less selective compounds, it stimulates growth hormone without significantly elevating cortisol or prolactin. This allows recovery processes to occur without triggering a stress response. Ipamorelin acts on the ghrelin receptor to promote clean, targeted hormone pulses that resemble natural physiology. It is often paired with CJC-1295, where one peptide extends signal duration and the other improves pulse quality. Together, they approximate youthful growth hormone rhythms rather than artificial elevation. Its effects are stabilizing rather than aggressive, supporting recovery consistency, sleep architecture, and metabolic balance over time. Tesamorelin. Tesamorelin reduces visceral fat by selectively mobilizing deep abdominal fat stores. Visceral fat surrounds internal organs and behaves differently from subcutaneous fat. It is metabolically active, releases inflammatory signals, and is strongly associated with insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. Tesamorelin stimulates a targeted growth hormone pulse that increases IGF-1 and shifts fat metabolism toward preferential breakdown of this internal fat depot. Clinical studies show reductions in waist circumference without equivalent loss of subcutaneous fat or lean tissue. Originally approved for HIV-associated lipodystrophy, Tesamorelin demonstrated that visceral fat could be selectively targeted through hormonal signaling. Because it influences glucose metabolism, monitoring is required. Its purpose is metabolic correction rather than general weight loss. IGF-1 LR3. IGF-1 LR3 directly stimulates muscle growth and tissue repair at the cellular level. IGF-1 is the primary downstream mediator of growth hormone. Many anabolic and reparative effects attributed to growth hormone are carried out through IGF-1 signaling. The LR3 modification extends its activity, allowing prolonged interaction with muscle cells. This increases amino acid uptake and protein synthesis, accelerating recovery from physical stress. Because IGF-1 also influences glucose transport and nutrient partitioning, its effects are potent and metabolically significant. Unlike upstream peptides that modulate signaling indirectly, IGF-1 LR3 acts directly on growth pathways. This increases effectiveness, but also reduces the buffering effect of natural regulatory steps. It is therefore considered an advanced compound with greater physiological impact. Follistatin 344. Follistatin 344 increases muscle growth by removing biological constraints rather than stimulating growth directly. Muscle size is limited by myostatin, a protein that acts as a regulatory brake. Myostatin prevents excessive growth that would be metabolically expensive or structurally destabilizing. Follistatin binds to and inhibits myostatin, effectively releasing that brake. When this inhibition occurs, muscle growth capacity expands beyond typical genetic limits. Unlike anabolic agents that amplify growth signals, follistatin changes the regulatory environment governing muscle size. This mechanism explains both its appeal and its uncertainty. Myostatin plays roles beyond muscle regulation, including connective tissue and metabolic signaling. Follistatin does not simply accelerate repair, it alters the rules that determine how much growth is biologically permitted. Epitalon. Epitalon targets aging at the cellular level by influencing telomere stability and circadian regulation. Telomeres are protective caps at the ends of chromosomes that shorten with each cell division. When they become critically short, cells lose replicative capacity and enter senescence. Epitalon has been studied for its potential to support telomerase activity and preserve telomere length within physiological limits. It also appears to influence melatonin regulation, supporting circadian rhythm stability. Circadian alignment governs hormonal repair, immune activity, and metabolic timing. By supporting these foundational systems, Epitalon's effects are subtle and cumulative. Its role is preservation rather than enhancement, aiming to maintain cellular coherence rather than drive visible performance gains. DSIP. DSIP supports sleep architecture and nervous system recovery without inducing sedation. Known as delta sleep-inducing peptide, it was originally studied for its influence on deep sleep cycles. Unlike sedatives, DSIP does not suppress consciousness. Instead, it appears to modulate sleep patterns in a regulatory manner. Sleep is an active physiological state involving hormone release, immune coordination, and tissue repair. Disruption of deep sleep impairs these processes. DSIP's proposed role is to support deeper, more restorative cycles when stress or nervous system dysregulation interferes with recovery. Effects vary significantly between individuals, suggesting it amplifies existing sleep patterns rather than overriding them. Melanotan II. Melanotan II alters skin pigmentation by stimulating melanin production through melanocortin receptor activation. It is a synthetic analog of alpha-melanocyte-stimulating hormone binding to receptors involved in pigmentation, appetite regulation, and libido. By stimulating melanin synthesis, it can darken skin without ultraviolet exposure. However, melanocortin receptors are distributed throughout the body, which explains systemic effects. Reported effects include nausea, flushing, appetite suppression, and changes in libido or blood pressure. Uneven pigmentation and darkening of moles have also been observed. Melanotan II is not FDA approved, and long-term safety data is limited. Because it is commonly sourced through unregulated channels, purity and dosing accuracy are additional concerns. It modifies appearance through broad receptor activation rather than targeted metabolic or restorative signaling. If you learned something new today, make sure to subscribe for more videos that explain fascinating ideas clearly and simply. I create content designed to expand your understanding and spark your curiosity. Tap the bell icon so you don't miss future videos.